There used to be a time when if you wanted to buy a fund, Vanguard would be the first option. They offered very simple to understand funds, they were also well diversified, and most importantly, they didn't cost an arm and a leg to buy. But last year, Vanguard upset a lot of investors when they added a £4 minimum monthly charge for investments made on their platform. However, Vanguard still offers ETFs that are available for you to invest into on platforms like Trading 212. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to find some of the best alternatives to Vanguard ETFs on Trading 212. So probably one of the most common ETFs that you may want to invest into would be some sort of world fund that gives you exposure to basically the world stock market. Now, if I type in all world in the search menu on Trading 212, as you can see, Vanguard comes on top because it's still one of the most popular choices for investors on Trading 212 to get a slice of the global action. For example, this is the FTSE All World by Vanguard. There are two versions, the accumulating version and the distributing version. They are almost identical apart from the fact that the accumulating version doesn't pay out dividends, but instead the dividends that are paid out from holding the companies invested in this fund are reinvested back into the fund, so the value of the fund will represent this dividend being paid in. Now, this is the other version of the FTSE All World by Vanguard, and this is the distributing version. In brackets you will see DIST. Now, all this means is that the dividends that are paid out by the companies from holding this fund, they are given out to the shareholder, so you should receive dividends every quarter from holding this ETF. But in order to find an alternative, I think it's important to understand that every ETF, even if they say they track the same thing, are not going to be identical. So on Trading 212, if you scroll all the way down, there is this bit called fund allocation, and in it we can go in and see what that is. So as you can see, first of all, these are the top 10 holdings of the fund, the first being Nvidia at around 6.4% as a weighting. Then we have Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Alphabet, very heavily focused towards technology, and in particular the American technology sector. Now, we can also go into sectors and see the sector allocation. Like we said before, technology is very heavy at around nearly 30%, financials at 16%, and so on and so forth. There will be some overlap between the sectors, so it's not just 30% technology. Some companies may fall between two. Now, the third tab is probably the most important, and this shows country diversification. So as you can see from the FTSE All World Fund by Vanguard, you are still invested heavily into the American economy at around 63.2%. But you do also get exposure to Japan at 5.67%. Also countries like UK, China, Canada, France, Germany, and even emerging economies such as India. So there is some sort of diversification, although that is less than 40% of the world. In either case, I think it's quite fair because the US economy historically has performed really well. You'd want to be slightly leaning more towards that for now anyway. But if other global economies start becoming more and more powerful, then the weight can shift in this ETF, which is really good to know. Now, if you would like to sign up to Trading 212 and receive a free fractional share worth up to £100, all you have to do is to click the link in the description box down below. Alternatively, if you've already signed up to Trading 212 over the past 10 days but haven't received your free fractional share, all you have to do is to press the three horizontal line menu over here. Scroll all the way down until you see the section use promo code, and in this section just enter my code JUBAIR and you should receive a free fractional share. Now, it's important when trying to find an alternative to a Vanguard fund or any other fund for that matter that you are comparing a few key metrics. Now, one of course is the asset allocation. The other would be the price. Now, over here you can see there is a section called expense ratio, and essentially that is the price per year that you're going to be paying Vanguard or any other fund manager for investing into their fund. Now, remember, when investing, depending on your stockbroker, there may be other fees, but this fee is always baked into the fund. Now, you don't actually have to pay for this fee out of your own balance. It is taken out of the value of the fund. This means that if you have two identical ETFs and one has a higher expense ratio or fund manager fee, then it stands to reason that the one with the higher fee will give you a lower overall performance. And over the years, even the smallest amount can really add up and reduce your overall gain if you're talking about investing in the long term over 30 to 40 years. Another key metric may be assets under management. All of the funds that we're going to be showing in this video are pretty large funds, but if the fund is quite small, only a few millions in assets under management, then the fund manager may not be incentivized to continue the fund, and that can cause problems for the investor down the line. So what are the alternatives to the FTSE All World by Vanguard? Well, if we stay in the same menu where we typed in All World, we can see one populates that is becoming more and more popular, called the Invesco FTSE All World. Now, as you can see, this is not by Vanguard and it's not even by iShares. This is by the fund manager Invesco. As you can see, this has the ticker code FWRG, and this is the Invesco FTSE All World. This is an accumulating version. Like I said before, dividends are not paid out to the shareholder. Now, Invesco has been gaining popularity because of its lower prices compared to Vanguard funds. Now, as we saw before, the Vanguard FTSE All World had an expense ratio of 0.22%. Now, unfortunately, on Trading 212, the stats for the Invesco funds are not available quite yet, so we are going to be using an external site to see these results. I always recommend checking multiple different external sources anyway, so it's probably a good idea. So on the website Just ETF, we can actually check out the stats and metrics for the Invesco FTSE All World. So the first thing that we realized is that the TER, which is known as the total expense ratio, is actually significantly lower than the Vanguard FTSE All World. Now, this is 0.15% as compared to 0.22%. Now, in our heads, that is not a big difference, but actually in terms of percentages, it is. This fund is over 30% cheaper than the Vanguard alternative. However, people invest into Vanguard because of the trust behind the name. So why should you invest into this Invesco alternative? As you can see, this is a relatively new fund that was created on the 26th of June 2023, so it's barely just been 2 years now. However, the fund size is pretty large for its age, with over £1.4 million in assets under management. Of course, the Vanguard equivalent is a lot bigger, but given the fact that this has been only around for about 2 years now, this is not too bad at all. With an asset under management of over £1 billion, I would say there is some confidence that the fund manager isn't just going to cut off the fund for no reason. Okay, that's all well and good, but we want to invest into an all world to get global diversification. So how are the assets allocated with this fund? So as you can see, these are the top 10 holdings. Nvidia at around 4.3%, so significantly lower than the top holding in the Vanguard FTSE All World. We also have Microsoft at a similar amount. We have Apple, Amazon and Meta, so quite similar in terms of holdings, but not similar in terms of weightings. Now, importantly, when we go into countries, you will realize that this fund is less weighted towards the USA, which could honestly be a good thing over the long term. We have Japan still at around 5.6%. We have the UK, we have China, Germany, France, Switzerland. Now, one thing that it may be missing compared to the Vanguard FTSE All World is a decent weighting in India. It doesn't actually mention India, but it could still well be that it has India. Now, the reason why I'd want exposure towards countries such as India and China is because they are very populous, with around 3 billion people living there, so almost half of the world's population in just 2 countries. Why would you not want to have exposure in terms of investments towards such a massive group of people? We can also see from sector allocation that technology plays a slightly less big of a role compared to the Vanguard FTSE All World, with around 27% in technology, which again, in my opinion, could be a good move. Obviously, it does depend on the investor what kind of sector allocation you'd want. Now, Invesco and Vanguard are still not the only options left on the table. SPDR has been gaining a lot of popularity, and in fact, SPDR is not a new company. They created basically the first ever S&P 500 ETF anyway. Now, this has a slightly different name. This is the SPDR MSCI All Country World UCITS Accumulating Fund. Now, it's quite a mouthful, but SPDR have been gaining popularity, like I said, because of their extremely low fees that are cheaper than typically even Invesco. So by using the external website Just ETF, we can check out the stats for this fund. So the total expense ratio for this fund is 0.2%, which means that the Invesco version is still significantly cheaper. Now, this fund is quite a bit older than the Invesco fund, created in 2011, so there's been over 10 years worth of establishment. In terms of assets under management, this is very similar to the size of the Vanguard FTSE All World, so a lot of people have a lot of confidence in this fund. So these are the top 10 holdings. You can see Nvidia at 4.55%, Microsoft at 4.15%. Now, when it comes to countries compared to the Vanguard equivalent, it does have a less of a weighting towards the USA. You also get quite a bit in Japan, you have a bit in the United Kingdom. We also do have China, and importantly, we do also have India, but very small weighting at 1.68%. Obviously, we do want exposure to India, but having a significant weighting towards India at this point in time doesn't make sense, as the risk will be pretty high in these emerging economies. Now, we can also see our exposure to technology in this fund compared to the Vanguard fund is lower at around 27.5%. Now, even iShares has an equivalent to the Vanguard FTSE All World. This is called the iShares MSCI World. This particular one is a distributing version that I'm showing. Now, if we go into their top 10 holdings, you can see Nvidia has a huge weighting, 5.52%, Microsoft at 4.57%. When we go into technologies, we can see about 26.5% towards technologies that this fund invests into. However, when we go into countries, things change quite a bit. This fund has a huge weighting towards the USA. Now, of course, depending on what sort of investor you are, you might want a higher or lower weighting towards the USA, and it's nice to have the ability to go for different fund managers. Now, this has a 72% weighting towards the USA, which is really high, but it also has Japan, UK, and the European countries. It doesn't mention, however, anything to do with China or India, which could possibly be in the other section down here. However, I would like to, as a world investor, have more exposure towards Asia. I know we have Japan, but China and India are very important players in my opinion. So this principle applies to finding alternatives to any Vanguard funds. For example, this is the Vanguard S&P 500. So if we type in SP 500 into the search bar, we can see there are a lot of different options. For example, the SPXP from Invesco, this is the Invesco S&P 500. We can see that this is cheaper than the Vanguard equivalent, Vanguard having a total expense ratio of 0.07%. There's also fund equivalents to the S&P 500 from iShares, for example, the IUSA. It has the same total expense ratio. And if you are interested in this alternative on Trading212, all you have to do is to go into the fund allocation. And here you can check the top 10 holdings, and you can also check the sector allocation. There will be subtle differences between the funds. So ultimately, it will be up to you to decide which Vanguard alternative you want to go for. So make sure to check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you in the next video.